Howdy everyone, this is Tricia and welcome to my channel. Today I decided to make some treats for Halloween. I've decided to call this Mini Halloween Dirt and Shovel. Why? Because this is a chocolate pudding and a chocolate cookie with little worms and a little pumpkin inside, and then I've got these little spoons which will be the little shovels. These are just a little mini treat that I'm going to be serving up for a party. It's a tailgate party that we'll be having for my husband's company. So if you want to see how I put this all together, keep on watching. Alright, so to put together my mini treat cups, I have an assortment of ingredients and some items here. So let me show you first what I have. Here I have some pudding. Now I've gone ahead and I've already opened 3 packs of these, just like these snack packs here. And these are just chocolate vanilla flavor. As you can see, there's different colors. I'm just going to mix that up. I've opened 3 packages, so that's 12 of these little cups that are in here for now, and I've got those standing by just in case I may need more. Here I've got some chocolate sandwich cookies. You could use any chocolate cookie. It doesn't have to be a sandwich one. All right, and then we've got some gummy worms, and I've got 5 of these little packets. I put 3 here for now. We'll see what we're going to have to use. And then I've got these little mellow cream pumpkins. Super cute. I bought 2 packages to make sure I have enough. Now I want to put this all together into these little mini cups here. They are, I think almost 2 ounces, and they have their own little lids. And I've gone ahead and I bought 5 packages of those, and these are 10 pieces in each of them. Now these are now $2 at the Dollar Tree, by the way. So anyway, I've got enough for 50, so I'm hoping I can fill up 50 of them. And then I've bought some little spoons here. I grabbed a couple of packages, but that was only going to be 48. So I grabbed an extra one because I thought, look, they're super cute little spoons. I can use them for something else if I have anything left over. All right, so I also want to decorate my little cups. So I've got some little spiders here, orange, green, and I think a purple. And I've got enough packs here to do my little treat cups. If I have any left over, I can use them for something else. All right, and then I got these little mini these are little jewelry storage bags. They have a little Ziploc here. But what I want to do is I want to use this to cover my little spoons. Now you can use some cling wrap, little squares you can cut out to cover the tops of the spoons. Okay, and then I've also got some black ribbon, a little thin ribbon. This is a 1/8 inch. I got 6 yards in each of these little rolls. I did get these at Hobby Lobby. By the way, I did buy these little bags at Hobby Lobby. They were $1.79, and there's like 150 or something in there. Yeah, 150 pieces, so that's pretty good. I won't use them all, of course. And I've got here some food grade disposable vinyl gloves, some scissors, and I've got my hot glue gun, and I'll plug that in later, and I'll show you why I have a hot glue gun, and I think I've shown you everything. So let's go ahead and start preparing some of these items. Let's go ahead and get to the cookies next. All right, so I've got some gloves on only because I'm going to be preparing food for people that don't know me. I don't know them. Otherwise, if this was for my family, I would just have super clean hands to do this. Okay, I went ahead first and I mixed up I stirred it up, the pudding, because I bought this one that has like 2 colors, and it was all swirly, and although I did like it, I really wanted it to just be one color, so I went ahead and I mixed it all up. So that's done. And I want to take these little cookies. You can use like Oreo, but I'm just using this brand. And I've got 2 bowls here. I'm going to pop these open. Cookies on one side and the cream filling on the other side. And I'm just going to continue doing this. I'm probably going to do like half the bowl here. And then I'll do, oops, that one broke, and it's okay because we don't need them to be whole. So it's fine if they're broken. There's some broken in the packaging already. No big deal. Just go ahead and scrape that off. I do have a napkin here, by the way, where I'm putting these cookies down. So I've got a clean table and a napkin here. So let's go ahead and separate that. That's already clear of cream. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to do about half of what I have in this bowl and put them here and here. So I'll be back once I have a good amount of this separated. All right, so I've done about half of my cookies here, and here they are. just the cookie itself, and then I've got the cream separated here. Now, by the way, I gave these a little taste test, one of these cookies, and you guys, I can't tell the difference between this and an Oreo. I guess I would have to have an Oreo next to me so I can taste it, but regardless of that, these cookies are really good, these little chocolate cream filled cookies from the Dollar Tree, so I highly recommend them. Save a lot of money on those. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna put this aside. I'm not gonna use this, I can dispose of it. If you feel like you can use it for maybe some other little treat, save it, or maybe you wanna incorporate it into this treat. I'm not going to do that, so I'm gonna put it aside. I'm gonna go ahead and grab these cookies and start breaking them. And then I'm gonna see if I can grab maybe a rolling pin if I have to. Put these in a bag and roll it around and break them up a little bit more so they can be like dirt. So that's basically what I'm doing. I am creating a dirt with my chocolate cookies. So just mash them all up the best way you can. Maybe grab the kiddos, put some gloves on them, and let them help you do this. This is super fun. And then you could go ahead and maybe put them in a little plastic bag, and using a rolling pin or a little mallet, a little wood mallet, let them help you and crush them up. It'll be fun. This is super fun what I'm doing. I'm really enjoying this. I'm having a lot of fun. It's very relaxing. It's actually a little bit satisfying, and the sound is pretty interesting. I like it. Listen to that. All right, so I'm going to continue doing this until I get it, you know, pretty fine, that it looks like dirt and not, you know, crumbles of cookies. And I shall be back so we can go ahead and start building some of these little treats. All right, so I just wanted to show you what I've been doing to get these crushed up. Now, I did put some in this little bag, and I tried the little roller, worked okay using this to pound it, but then I get a bunch of little crumbs everywhere because eventually the cookie bits, because you know they're kind of sharp, they do poke through the plastic bag at some point, and then I have a big old mess. So I decided, you know what, I don't like that. So I put them in the bowl, and I've just been using my rolling pin to crush them like this, and that is working really well. It's very therapeutic, by the way. I also am enjoying the sound. Now, I realized that you could also put it in your food processor and crush them up that way. I do have a brand new food processor. I haven't even tried it. I could pull it out, but you know, I'm already almost done here, so I'm just gonna keep doing this. I'll use a food processor for something else. All right, so I've already put a couple of these together, so I could decide, well, how much am I going to be using? And again, I want to try and do 50 of them, but I'll just do as many as I can take doing. So anyway, let's go ahead and build this. So it's very simple. Once you got your cookies crumbled up, which is probably the longest, and I mean, depending if you're going to make your own pudding, homemade, or the instant pudding, or you're just going to open little cups like I did. I mean, that's just, you know, that's how much time you're going to be taking for this. Now, I've seen where they make these dirt cups. That's what they're called, I guess. And they put whipped cream in it. I'm not putting any whipped cream in it because this is going to be a party that's going to be outdoors, and I'm going to have this all served up on a table outside. So I don't want to add any dairy to this, and we're just going to keep it the way that it is. I'm sure the pudding is made with milk, but I don't want to add any more to it. Okay, so I'm putting about 2/3 cup. I thought half a cup, but that wasn't enough. So I'm going 2/3 cups of pudding in there, or 2/3 of the cup of this little mini cup, not 2/3 of a cup measurement. Okay, with pudding. I'm trying not to get the edges, you know, cover the chocolate, but it's okay. That happens. It's going to be a bit of a squeeze down once we put the lid on this, and it's so cute. All right. And now we're going to put a little bit of dirt. Now, if you're going to make these for a party inside your house and you don't want to put the little lid on them, you don't have to. You just serve them up like this, and maybe just put the little spoon in there. We'll do one like that just in just a moment so you can see what I'm talking about. And then we're going to put some of this dirt, these little chocolate cookie crumbly sand. Now, you could do this maybe with some sugar cookies, or you know, just a vanilla cookie rather than a chocolate cookie. Use a vanilla pudding, a banana pudding, any flavor pudding, pistachio, whatever you want. Do these in different colors. Use a gummy bear instead of a worm. Do something different. You could do it for baby showers, for birthday parties. I mean, just for the kiddos to have fun building something even, and maybe at the party. Let them do them themselves. And these are small, just little tiny little snack sizes. So you know you're not giving your kid like a big cup, you know, little cup measurement. You're giving them a small, just a little taste. I mean, you know, you're usually at parties, you're gonna have cake and other things. So, you know, if you're worried about how much you're giving them. Okay, some of these little wormies, I was kind of like pushing them into the sand and just the little head and the tail sticking out, but I'm gonna go ahead and just lay it across like that because I feel like you can see it better that way. And then our little pumpkin, because once we put the lid, that's gonna push down on all of that. Okay, so I think it's best if we can see the little wormy in there and the little pumpkin. All right, so that's what I'm gonna continue doing. Let me show you how it would look with the little spoon in there if you decide to put them on a cute little platter and you don't have to worry about using the little lids. And skip that part. Let's take out a little spoon. I have taken out a little spoon. I don't know what I did with it. And then we can just serve it up like that. Look, just put it like that. And put them on a cute little tray. I mean, this is almost like if you're gonna have like a little fancy party. You can go around with your tray and everybody takes their little hors d'oeuvre, but in this case it's a little dessert. I think it is so cute. You could go further, wrap a little ribbon on it, just make a little knot. I mean, you could decorate this however you want. It doesn't have to be just for Halloween, and it doesn't have to be served up in the way that I'm doing it. But that's what I'm going to continue doing because I want to give these out there at the party, and I want everyone to just grab one and not worry about kiddos maybe getting their fingers in it, or also the little spoons. I want to cover them so that they're not somewhere where, you know, everybody just fingering and grabbing. Okay, so that's what I'm going to continue doing. It is a nice little, relaxing project. I don't know what word I was thinking, respectful or something like that, maybe. Restful, I think I was going to say restful. It's very relaxing. And of course, if you're doing this with your kids or some friends are helping you out doing this, maybe for a baby shower, you could have a nice little conversation or just do what I'm doing and watch some YouTube videos. So watch my videos. All right, I'll be back once I get these all done so that we can decorate them really cute. All right, so here's an update of what I've done. I've already gotten 20 of these little cups filled. Now, I was filling it up with putting pretty high, 2/3 of the little cup here. But I ended up putting less, just a tiny bit more than half of the pudding in there. And I've just got very little pudding left here. I may be able to do another 2 little cups. So this is probably going to do about, excuse me, about 22 cups. These 12 little pudding cups that I opened up. So I do have more, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'll open up the other 3 packages, which is gonna be another 12 of these little pudding cups. Now, the cookies are doing really well. This is what I've got so far. I got these double filled chocolate sandwich cookies. I didn't show you the packaging from the Dollar Tree if you wanna see. This is an 11.8 ounce. Now, I opened up 3 packages and I crumbled up about 1.5 of that because I got half of the cookies and I crumbled them, but I still got half of the cookies in another bowl. And I feel like this is gonna be enough. So you just buy 2 packages of cookies. You don't have to buy 3. That'll make about 50 of these containers, okay? About, because I'm not finished yet. I don't know yet. Now, the pumpkins, I bought 2 little packages, and I think I've got enough here to maybe do another 30. And the gummy worms, I bought 5 packages of those. And I've still got enough here to do, obviously, another 30. Did I open all the packages? Oh no, I didn't open one of them. I think I bought 5 of them. So there's about 4 packages in here. So I think maybe 3 packages would be okay. If you buy 4, just open up 3, you know. Okay, so I'm gonna continue doing this, and then, like I said, we'll get to making them look cute. Now, we're gonna cover up that little spoon. All right, so now we're gonna go to the decorating step, and as you can see here, I've already done a couple of them, and then I've done 2 different ways to prepare the little spoons. I grabbed some cling wrap and then a little spoon like that and just place it in the center, wrap it down, and then just squeeze it. And then of course you're gonna take a little piece of ribbon, and I would do this after you've gotten all your little spoons wrapped. You can take off your gloves and be able to do this. Otherwise it is a pickle to be doing this with gloves. And a little thing about the cling wrap and the gloves, they kind of want to stick together. Now, on the other one, I made a little bow, so it took me a little bit more time to do. Here I can just knot it on there. I don't really care for knotting it, but there you go, you can see that. Because then the little kids, going to be having a hard time opening this up. So a little bow is going to take you a little bit more time, but it looks a little bit better also. But it's going to be so easy for them just to pull that off and pop that open, okay? So that's one thing you can do. You could also opt to not put any little, ribbon on there at all, and just cling and wrap it and just, get it on there. Although I got this cling seal. It's from, name brand here. This wrap here, this plastic wrap, I grabbed it from the Dollar Tree, but it's not very clingy to itself. It's very clingy on the gloves. So if you're doing this for your family, you might choose not to wear gloves. You just have super clean hands, and then you can do this and you won't have as much trouble also making the little bows and things like that. Okay, so that's just one thing. Get yourself a really good cling wrap that wraps around really well, and then you don't have to put any little ribbon on there. Of course, it looks super cute with a little ribbon. If you're just making a few just for your your house, your family, I would go all out and put a little bow on it. Okay, the other option is what you're seeing here. That looks so neat and clean. So we're going to take a little Ziploc bag, and we're going to take one of our spoons. Of course, we're going to pop this open. Again, this is a little tough doing it with the gloves on, but it's, you're doing this to give away to people you don't know. They don't know you. You want to make sure you're clean. Either your hands are super clean and everything you're touching is super clean, but if you're working with gloves, which is what I'm doing, I'm just bearing the gloves, you guys. I would rather not have them on, and but I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I want to know that I'm doing something clean. Okay, so now instead of cutting the ribbon, I'm just gonna go ahead and just start making little loops here and make a little bow. And I'm doing it that way so that I don't waste ribbon. So you just make them while you're here, and then you just trim off what you need. And obviously you're not going to have a little scrap piece of ribbon. You're just going to have your little bow. And then you can add a little bit of hot glue just to dress up this little packet. I mean, it looks so cute once you've done that. Look at that. And then you could set these aside in a little bowl, and everyone can grab their little spoons. I have them here if you decide that you're serving this at home. You don't need to wrap them. You don't need to put them in anything. Look at this. I just put them in a skull cup here, this mug that I also grabbed from the Dollar Tree, by the way. And look, easily grab. This is your family grabbing. You don't have to worry about it. But like I said, because this is in a place where not everybody knows each other, and we don't want kids, all putting their little hands on here. This is going to be outside. They're going to be playing. They're going to be walking around trick-or-treating to every single car that we're going to have there. We're doing a tailgate party, by the way, a little Halloween tailgate party in this particular property, some land that he's got. There's going to be a little hayride that'll take the kids around. They can get off at each car and grab their candy. We're going to have a little contest, some games and things like that, a little costume contest. Anyway, so because we don't know, they don't know me, I don't know them, and I want to know, they want to know that I'm going to be clean, and hey, I can always prove to them, hey, go watch my channel, there's my video, haha, you can see I'm wearing gloves. Okay, anyway, so this is what you want to do if you're going to serve it up to people you don't know, is just wrap them up or put them in cute little baggies like this. I really like this. To me, this looks so much neater. It's so much easier, and than having to cut the little squares of cling wrap. Okay, that's why it's easier, just because of that. Of course, a cling wrap is less expensive, especially if you buy like a really good one, and instead of buying, so many little bags. Of course, you could use these little bags for other occasions. Okay, I'm going to continue on making more of these little baggies with little bows on them. And then on my little cups here, if you want to make them special, you don't have to. You could just stack them up like that. Have them on a tray. Everybody can grab their little you know, their little treat and grab their little spoon, or at home, grab their treat, grab their spoon, and have at it, enjoy it. All right, but I'm gonna put little spiders on because I just wanna make them a little more special. And then I bought these packages with these glittery spiders. I'm gonna have to switch over to some other gloves in a minute to continue finishing the spoons, because this lets go of a lot of glitter. So and once everything's sealed and covered, you know, you don't have to use the gloves. You don't want to, but you know, why not, right? So just put a little bit of glue wherever the spider is going to touch the little lid here. Want to make sure that it's gluing down. And then we just leave it alone, and look how cute that looks. Ooh, creepy crawly spider on your little pudding snack. Guys, I haven't quite decided what I'm gonna name it. I'm just gonna call it a Halloween mini dirt and shovel treat, because you know what? This is your little shovel where you're digging up them grave and the dirt and the worms pop up, you know. And then of course you got the cute little pumpkin also, making it a little special, an extra little candy in there. Why not? So I'm going to go ahead and continue. I hope I have enough spiders to do all of them. By the way, I did 47 cups. I've got 3 of them left over here. So I got 47 cups out of 24 little cups of pudding and 1.5 packages of the cookie, or 2 packages of cookies. I didn't have to crumble anymore. I did about half of them, of 3 of them. So I'm saying it's 1.5. But of course you'll have to buy 2 packages. Then the gummy worms, I'm gonna say about 3 of those little packages if you buy the ones from Dollar Tree that I just showed you. And then the pumpkins, about 2 packages. I think it was maybe a little bit more than 1 package. I still had a whole bunch of little pumpkins left over. So that gives you an idea of what you're gonna need. Of course, buy enough little spoons to, if you're gonna make 50, buy enough little cups here to get close to 50. Maybe you'll put a little tiny bit less in there, and then you'll be able to do all 50 of them. That is up to you, what you want to do. Again, this can go any way you want. It doesn't have to be for Halloween. It can be for any other occasion. You want to do this for Christmas, Thanksgiving, coming up soon. We can do this for a birthday, baby showers, wedding showers, really any little party that you want to have for your friends, and just do them in different pudding flavors, different cookie flavors. I was just thinking about that Philadelphia cream cheese, the cheesecake that comes in a little tub. That stuff is already ready, no bake. You could put that in there, maybe some vanilla wafers, crumble those up, put it on top. You don't have to put any additional candies, but if you want it, there are some banana flavored little candies, or some strawberry flavored candies. I mean, you could put a little raspberry, a little blueberries on top. Just a few, just to make a tiny little snack, you know, and then you wouldn't have to fill it so much. It's just a little palette flavoring thing while they're waiting, maybe for some other things, maybe on the side of some cake, you know. Okay, I'm talking too much. I'm gonna go on and finish all of this so we can wrap up this video. All right, everyone, so I am almost done with this, but I decided to go ahead and wrap this up. These are my little treats here, all finished, and I've got a few more that I've got to decorate, and I place them into this little bucket here. Here we are, all complete, my Halloween. These are my mini Halloween dirt and shovel treats. And I've got a few more little spoons here that I've got to decorate. I don't know, you guys, maybe I'm doing too much. What do you think? I really like the way they look with the little bows on them, so I think I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. But my video is now wrapped up, and I really, really enjoyed doing this. I had a lot of fun, so I'm going to give myself, right there, a big old thumbs up, and I hope that you too will give me a big old thumbs up. Leave a kind comment down below and let me know what you thought of my little treats for this Halloween season. Of course, you can do this in different ways for other seasons and occasions. If you're enjoying the content of my video and you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe and share on your social medias or with your friends and family. Thank you all very much for watching, and as always, enjoy.